matter, Amy, Wiwibloggs.com. Welcome to another reaction video. Now, this is an interesting one because this song is actually not competing at Melodi Grand Prix or Eurovision. It's a single. It's KEiiNO's latest single, which is called Unbreakable. And you know what? Let's face it. Monument could have won Eurovision. Fact. You know? It could have actually won. Do you sometimes find that songs that don't make it out of pre-selections could have actually done better at the mother contest? We digress. Are you ready to watch and react to Unbreakable? Let's do that! Right, got these in. I want full intensity this time, so hitting play. In the winter. That's Norway for you. Oh. Don't be shy, Alexandra. You love nature stuff. Oh my god, this is excellent. That frozen heart. Tell it to me, girl. Oh, Fred coming in. Tom comes in now. Yes. No DV, honey. Say no to domestic violence. Let him go. Oh! Unbreakable. I mean, Fred is what makes the sound of KEiiNO, isn't it? Oh! Okay, let us unpack this. Fred Buljo and his Listen, KEiiNO at this point can do no wrong. I absolutely love this. You know, it reminds me of like, you know, some kind of Tales by Moonlight, you know, some kind of northern fable, which packs a disco beat. And wow. Because there's a real story in here, and this story is jam-packed with metaphors. I mean, nobody's killing anybody. You know, leaving somebody to die does not necessarily mean, like, you know, making them bleed to death. It's just a case of, like, you know, let that love go, let that emotion go, you know, let that chapter go. Shout out to all the good mothers of the world. Shout out to International Women's Day. Shout out to Happy Mother's Day. Because you know what? The mother is intrinsic to this story. But what I love the most about it is that if you're not picking out the lyrics, it's such a brilliant song to dance to. You know what? I prefer this to Spirit in the Sky, but I don't love it as much as Monument. Gotta keep that real. Monument, I still think, is the apex. Or so far anyway, has been the apex of their game. That for me was total slayage on all levels imaginable. But I really like Unbreakable. I think it's distinctly the sound of KEiiNO. I think that this would have been a great Eurovision song. I'm surprised actually they didn't think of holding it back, perhaps for another try, or giving it to, do they have artists in groups of 3? I'm not so sure. Or reworking it for another artist. But, as a follow-up single, I think this is excellent. I really, at this point, it feels like KEiiNO are actually incapable of writing a bad song. Well, KEiiNO are undoubtedly the super group of Eurovision. I mean, let's not forget, Alexandra Rotan, Tom Hugo Hemerson, and Fred Buljo are actually 3 standalone stars in their own right. And, this project, KEiiNO... Oh, guys, have you got the album Okta? OKTA? Let's just say there's another album coming up, because Unbreakable does not even fit in that now. They've kind of moved on. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Colors, Black Leather, basically all their songs. I'm living for this. And I am with my 3 heroes, Alexandra Rotan, Fred Buljo, and Tom Hugo. It's KEiiNO!
Hey!
Guys, congratulations for just giving us life, for still being together, which I really love. I mean, lots of Eurovision, duos and bands are no more, but you're still here.
Of course, we love working together and we love making music together. So yeah, the future is bright.
The word on the street is that you're unbreakable. I mean, how true is that?
I think it's pretty true, yeah. Like we planned for the second single after Monument to be Unbreakable, but sadly, the title were kind of it fit very well, because people were a bit unsure if we were sticking together after Melody Grand Prix, which of course we were always planning to do anyway. So yeah, it's the first it's the second song of a four-step rocket in order to lift the spirits before May.
So Alexandra said in an earlier interview that Monument wasn't kind of consciously written for Eurovision as such, that it was just writing sessions of many songs. So did Unbreakable come from that session?
Yes, actually, it was written, I think, the day after we wrote Monument, or like the first demo of it. So it was something special about that cabin and about meeting each other for the first time after months apart. So I feel like maybe both Monument and Unbreakable shows like our creative energy, that we got together.
It was so funny when I was listening to Unbreakable, because it comes out with the lyric video. I was thinking the whole time, okay, this is like a really important fable. It's like a story, And I went to the river and I kissed him, and my mother said, "Let him die." And I was just thinking at that point, what does Fred Buljo think about this? And he comes, oh yeah,
yeah.
Fred, my question is
as
for
before,
you.
I just want to capture the Arctic spirit in the song. Just keep the Arctic spirit high.
I know, the frozen curse. But Fred, when the songs are being created, because your sound is so signature, it's like a yoke. How do you decide the placement? Because Monument, obviously, Monument I really love because it was the opening riff. But for Spirit in the Sky, it felt like a tag on. Do you influence the placement, and how does that work in terms of the final product of the song?
We just have to hear the song and just listen where it can fit, because we can't just put a yoke just to have a yoke there, but it have to be in a bigger picture, you know. So it has to fit. And we thought, okay, the yoke fits very naturally after the chorus.
It's kind of like that there's like a missing piece. You can just feel together that, okay, here it's like something needs to come here, and then Fred starts yoiking, and then it's like it all just comes together when that is like the final touch of it. It's really cool.
You have to sorry, Tom, you have to think about the yoke as a you know, like a synth lead. I think just like a fuzz guitar.
That was the thing that I was supposed to say. For Unbreakable, it was really okay. If we were in like EDM producers, that's where we would put in rup, 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 rup. That's now in Unbreakable we have a nice yoik instead.
Yeah.
And it does fit, because I mean, this is a song about following the Northern Star. So I mean, the further up north you go, you kind of need that Sami vibe to kind of make it more Norwegian, more authentic to your sound as well. Because you do borrow a lot of influences of traditional sounds. I mean, like Octa, the name of your album, that's a Sami word, right?
Yeah.
Even KEiiNO, I believe, is a Sami word, right?
Yeah, it means Octa. It's one.
Oh, Octa means one.
So this is our first album, Octa. Album nummer Octa.
I like that. I like that.
But also, KEiiNO is also like half inspired by KEiiNO, where Fred is from, but also KEiiNO is like the gate, which means road in Sami. So yeah, we have definitely a lot of Sami influences in our songs.
And speaking of the road, I mean, I have followed your journey. Well, first of all, as individual stars prior to the supergroup, and since KEiiNO, it's even been great. And you guys give a lot of content. I mean, the YouTube documentary series that you had, that was great. I watched those. And I was particularly fascinated by this sort of gathering of, is it reindeers? Tell me about the music video of Monument, how that came about.
Well, we felt like a song that was filled with so many nice instruments and such a huge production also needed like a huge monumental music video. So we actually Tom kind of drew our travel route in Norway, and we discussed which places we wanted to visit, which places we wanted to record and show the world. So we got in the car, drove ourselves with the camera guy, and we visited all these beautiful places. And one of these places were in KEiiNO, out on the tundra, where Fred, he took me and Tom driving scooters out on the tundra, and we got all the reindeers to run around Fred by us driving the scooters. It was like such a beautiful experience that I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
They had to herd the reindeers around me.
Until Alexandra fell over and nearly like tripped on a mountain slope. I mean, that moment, I was like, okay, this is a bit ambitious.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was like there was definitely some parts of the production of the music video that we won't repeat. That maybe should have been done with a bigger crew and some bit more safety. But anyway, like, we're still alive, luckily, and we've grown a lot as people, I guess. But we've seen some amazing things, and we actually. And even though we were kind of almost lost or in the mountain, like the big mountain, like throughout the night, we still, I think it was worth it. But as Alexandra said, the shooting, like when we were filming the reindeer out in tundra, that was amazing. But also that was kind of coincidence. Yeah, Fred?
Yeah. We were filming on the tundra, and a friend of mine, just drove by the car with the car, and I just remember it. Oh, that guy, he has an big, a reindeer herd. So we thought, and I always had the dream to dance in a reindeer herd. So we just went there, and Alexandra and Tom had to herd the reindeers around me, so they circulated around me. So we got this awesome video shots with the drone. Yeah.
Fantastic. It really blew me away because you guys came out with the lyric video, and I actually thought the stage performance at Melody Grand Prix was, for me, I was okay with that. And then a music video is like, okay, I am living it up. So will there be a music video for Unbreakable, or are you just going to keep that as a lyric video?
Unbreakable, we'll keep that as a lyric video for now. We have a few other songs, and hopefully we'll be able to produce some videos for that. Right now, it's like the situation in Norway, again, with the pandemic, isn't too easy to plan things because, we're not sure if we're allowed to travel, to be honest. But the plan, we have a few videos planned, so yeah, just crossing fingers. But right now, it wasn't possible to do anything with Unbreakable, sadly.
Well, actually, which brings me to another question. So, like, you guys were in Tel Aviv, and because you're so connected, I mean, it was no surprise you won the televote, because you'd actually, perhaps, I think, in recent years, the act I know who invested in the fandom more than any other. I mean, Tom came and performed at the Wiwi Jam well before KEiiNO formed, for instance. And also in the KEiiNO journey, actually, Alexandra came to London as well with Stella. So kind of your names have been out there. And then when KEiiNO formed, you guys did a lot of the, the preview parties, and, you got your names out there and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is a question for you, Alexandra. When you were then coming into Melody Grand Prix again, and you heard the song Monument and how great it was, did a part of you not think, oh my God, we're so used to the hands-on experience with the fandom, this is going to be so pared back? Should we not skip a year?
No, definitely not, because Melody Grand Prix is such a great way to, first of all, in a situation like this, be able to be on stage again and to get a song with such an important theme to so many hundred thousands of people. But of course, we had in the back of our minds that if we win, it would not be the same as it was in 2019. But we had like something in mind for how we were going to solve that as well. So since
don't tell.
No, I won't. But of course, we're adapting to the situation and everything. But we love Melody Grand Prix, so we were like, why not?
But also, we wrote Monument in the beginning of July, and of course, we never thought that this would it would still be an issue that Eurovision wouldn't go as planned. So of course, because we don't do anything like just half-hearted. We go all in, and we spent a lot of time perfecting, and then we can't just suddenly stop in November because we see that it's not gonna we're not that kind of. We go all in, and we just continue until we're finished.
Well, and of course, we all love it because it's been such, the excitement was great. For me, actually, I mean, Spirit in the Sky was good, but Monument for me really impacted me quite massively, to the point that actually, when Norway didn't choose it, people were writing to me on social media and tweeting me and sending me messages consoling me.
Sorry.
I know, right? We've got to talk about Octa, because that's your album, your first album. And now you've got 2 singles posted. And according to what Tom said earlier on, it's a 4-track. You have 4 tracks ready. So are you going to re-release Octa, or are these songs going to go on another parent album?
We started on a new album. Yeah. So we have a lot of songs planned, and it's hard to plan right nowadays, but the plan is that the album will be out in sometime early next year. But we'll release singles from it as we did with Octa, so it won't be like waiting for 12 new songs. But there will be some songs that haven't been released as singles before as well. But in general, yeah, we have a lot of singles planned, and we can't wait. And hopefully, we'll be able to travel to play a bit live in the autumn as well.
And Tom, the new album, is it going to have that international spirit that Octa had? Because Octa had contributions from Canada, from Australia, from, you know, is it going to kind of follow that pattern as well?
Well, we have we started on something that we really would like to finish, because now we have a few continents left when it comes to finding other indigenous artists that we'd like to collaborate with. So yes, the plan was already to travel in order to record with other artists, but now we'll try to do something digitally, because yeah, definitely we like the idea of mixing other indigenous expressions in our pop music, and think that we still, there's so many exciting artists and exciting like song traditions around the world. So we're going to continue.
And of course, Fred can supply you with the children's choir. I mean, like.
Yeah, of course. A lot of Sami children.
I know. Do they give you feedback on your songs, the kids in school?
Yeah, they are. Actually, there are a lot of kids listening to our music. So I got a lot of feedback from Sami children in the concerts, and they are asking me if they can join as well.
Oh.
My former kindergarten children are asking when it's their time.
I kind of like the sound of that.
Maybe there will come my children album from KEiiNO. Who knows?
Do you know what?
KEiiNO kids.
Yeah.
There is actually a junior Eurovision Song Contest. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, of course.
I've been to a few of those editions. It's also quite good fun. But I know it's difficult, as Tom pointed earlier on, in terms of touring and all the rest of it. But are there any plans actually because previously you've toured in Australia as well as in Europe. Are there any plans? I mean, we can still dream. Are there any plans to hit the road again?
Well, there are a lot of dreams, and also there's a lot of plans that make it's quite difficult to plan nowadays, because we can't publicly announce. We don't want to publicly announce anything before we know that, okay, it looks like it's going to happen. But like, if we're going to be more of a like realistic about it, I think it's not going to be before spring, no, autumn. And you never know. Suddenly, if the vaccination goes quicker, then we will get out there as soon as we can. Just hop on a plane. And but definitely, I think the big Europe tour hopefully the big world tour will definitely be in 2022, I guess.